Hi, my name is Delmarshae Walker. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is doing great today. I've seen in the news where this dancer goes by the name of tWitch had passed away by his own hands. I never followed him on social media. I have seen Ellen's show, so I do remember seeing him as her DJ on that show maybe like once or twice. But just in general, I really don't know anything about him. Like I said before, I never followed him on any of his social media platforms. Mostly everything I know about him so far is just what I have seen recently since his passing. You know, they say he loved to dance, and they were showing, videos of him and his wife dancing together, him on Ellen's show, and everyone was saying how he was always happy. Every time they seen him, he had a smile on his face. He was a very happy person, and they're not sure or understand why he decided to take his life. And also, recently I seen a video where they were saying that they did find a note in the room, and he kind of alluded to him deciding to take his life because of, well, not deciding to take his life, but he was dealing with some things in his past. And so that may have been kind of led up to why he took his life. That is something that, we don't really know. But what I wanted to speak about is like a lot of times we see a smile on a person's face and we just automatically assume they're happy, they're full of joy. Or if we see a person and that person is not smiling, we're quick to say what's wrong because we assume that they're upset or they're sad. A smile on your face doesn't equate to happiness because that's inside here. Just like if you see a person, they're not smiling, that don't mean that they're mad or upset, because it's all about what's in here. And a lot of times, especially in the society that we live in today, we're quickly like just scrolling. So if we're seeing someone with a smile on their face, dancing, happy, we just assume, oh, that person is full of joy. Or we might go to that person, if we're feeling down, we might go to that person's social media page, or if we know that person in person, we might go to them to cheer us up because we're always seeing them happy. And so what I want to do, I want to kind of share a video that I came across as I was like looking at different videos of tWitch.
Yeah, I just wanted to say something real quick, man. I posted something yesterday about the Jacob Blake incident that happened. Seen the video, read things all about it, and just I posted it to raise awareness and also just to share an outrage, man. This is happening too much, and even my caption said, "Is this routine becoming familiar? The routine of posting about unarmed black folks being brutalized, and then following up with the hashtag justice for fill in the blank." And then in the comment section, everybody goes, "Well, what about Twitch, don't post that. Don't divide us like that." Don't push that narrative, Twitch. Like, yo, like I don't have to push the narrative. The narrative's already happening. And also for everybody that answered the post asking me about, well, what about the 5-year-old that was killed by this person? Yo, what happened to Cannon, that was awful. That was tragedy. That was tragedy. And justice is being carried out on the person that did that. If I'm not mistaken, the person that committed that atrocity is arrested and charged with first-degree murder. We still yelling about justice for Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Elijah McClain, Sandra Bland, Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice. Yo, I'm just, Philando Castile. And countless others that are literally happening, it seems like, every other week. But y'all want to get in the comment section and be like, oh, well, what about this? Like, why is it like when we're raising awareness on something that's happening against human rights, rather than just, if you're going to leave a comment saying, you know, yo, that is messed up. Man, that's messed up. You got to go, yeah, but what about, almost like you trivializing it. Like, it almost has this slight undertone, like you're a little tired of hearing this narrative. Whoa, imagine that. Imagine that. That you're tired of hearing that narrative. Imagine that.
Okay, and so in this video, you can see that he was kind of dealing with the situation of, you know, constantly seeing people die in the news, and we have all experienced that. And it seemed like it was kind of weighing on him with these different people dying, and not just with these different people dying, but certain comments that was being left under his post when he's speaking about certain people. And when I see him in that situation, and then plus with the note that was left behind saying that he was dealing with something in his past, I don't know what he was dealing, you know, I don't know him, so I don't know what he was dealing with in his past. But to me, it seemed like he may have gotten to the point where he was just tired, or he may have gotten to the point where he felt hopeless, you know, with everything that was going on. He just felt hopeless. Because to go to, you know, I spoke before how I wanted to kill myself when I was 10 years old. And it was something I had thought about and planned out to actually do, but I ended up not doing it. But to go to the steps that he did to actually end up where he was, that had to be something that he's been dealing with for a while, to actually get up, think about what he was going to do, how he was going to do it, and the note that he was going to leave behind. So it's sad to see that happening, because I wish he would have picked up the phone and dialed 988 and talked to someone, or hopped in the car and instead of going to that hotel, went to, you know, a counselor or a psychologist, a psychiatrist, or somebody to talk to professionally, to talk to, because he may have been dealing with something from his past that's just been on him all this time. But every time people see him, they see him smiling to hide what he was dealing with. And so a lot of times, you know, like I said, when people see you smiling, they just assume nothing's going wrong in your world. There's nothing bad in your life, or you're not dealing with something from the past. And if you are a person that is dealing with something from your past, or something that just happened to you recently, please go get help. Please go to a professional, talk to a professional. Like I said, you could dial 988 and talk to a counselor, or text a counselor, or actually talk to someone. Because to be honest, 100% honest, when you take your life, you have to also think about you're being selfish, because you're thinking about how you feel at that moment. You're thinking, and I know it can weigh heavy on you, because like I said, I thought about killing myself before. And those thoughts sometimes do pop in my head. I'm not suicidal. I'm not going to kill myself, because I came to terms with, I'm not going to take my own life. But to say I never think about it would be a lie. It do pops in my head sometimes, but I know I can't do that. I have to keep going, because what you have to think about in his situation, you know, I'm not putting anything on him. I'm not putting anything on his family, but in his situation, you have to think about this. Whatever he was going through was heavy to him. And whatever he was going through, he thought the best decision was to take his life. But he didn't think about, now he's putting this weight on his wife. She got to deal with her husband not being here. The 3 kids he didn't think about how that is going to make them feel, knowing that their father is no longer here. They can't, my mother died this year. She died of she died of cancer. And so I find myself sometimes picking up the phone, wanting to call her, wanting to say something to her, wanting to talk to her, but I can never get that again. And just imagine his kids being young. They don't have the opportunity to grow up with their father, to have certain conversations with their father, to experience life with their father. So if you are a person thinking about taking your life, think about the people that you're leaving behind, because they're going to have to continue to go on for the rest of their life dealing with this tragedy that could have been avoided. Like I said, I wish he would have got help instead of going to that hotel room, taking his life. It's not worth it, because you are an individual and you may feel that your life is not important and that your life doesn't touch other people's lives. But believe me when I tell you, it does. Your life is important, and your life is connected to other people, whether it's through this lens or in person. And you have to think about, when you take yourself out of the equation, everyone else in your ecosystem is gonna feel that you're missing. They're gonna feel that loss. They're gonna feel that void that you left behind. They're gonna be wondering, was it something that I could have done? Did this person say something to me and I didn't catch what they said? Could I have taken a moment, when they sent me that text, could I have responded quicker to that text? You're leaving them behind wondering, was it something I did? Was it something I said? Could I have did something different? Could I have said something different? So don't make that decision, because that is just an instant in your life. Go get help, talk to someone. I advocate very strongly to go get counseling. And don't be a type of person that always put your burden on someone else. If you're dealing with a lot in your life, don't be a person that constantly go to your friends. Oh, I'm going to go talk to this person about my job. I'm going to talk to this person about my relationship. I'm going to talk to this person about my kids. Take something that you're dealing with on that level to a professional, so they can really help guide you to how to deal with that the right way, so you're not having those same conversations over and over, and you may be putting that burden on your friends or your family members. Go to a professional. And then if you're dealing with a lot, go to a professional and talk it out with them. Even if the world see this great smile on your face and they don't feel there's anything wrong with you or think there's anything wrong with you, go to a counselor and talk to them. Because a lot of times people, even if you ask a person how they're doing, sometimes they don't answer you because you really don't want to know. Because sometimes, when a person say, how you doing, they're doing that as they're walking away. They're doing that as a courtesy. Hey, how you doing? And they keep going. They don't really stop to hear what you're saying, to make sure you're okay, or to say to you, hey, I see you're struggling. Are you seeing someone? Are you going to a counselor? Maybe you should go talk to someone professional about this. You don't really, a lot of people don't have those conversations with their friends or their loved ones, because they're constantly moving, or they're constantly like this in their phone, and the conversation is not really face to face. A lot of people are not being seen. And you say, well, I see this person sometimes you really don't see a person. Sometimes you don't hear a person, because you're busy thinking about what you have to do. You're busy thinking about where you're trying to go, what you're trying to, what I'm going to eat, or you're in your phone or whatever. We're in a society where it's very rarely you see a person really just put down their phone and give a person their undivided attention, where they're like, here, we're one-on-one, we're talking to each other, there's no other interruption. And so we need to get back to that, because there's a lot of people that are suffering in silence. They need to know that if you're in their family, that you do care about them, that you want them to get help, and you do want them around. And like I said, you are very valuable, so don't take your life. If that's something you're thinking about, go get counseling, talk to someone. Is with tWitch situation, like I said, I don't know what he was dealing with. I don't know what conversations he may or may not have had with his wife. But when I seen that last video, I seen all these other videos where he was happy, he was dancing, and he was doing all this. And then when I came across that last video, it's like, he was frustrated, and he looked like he was tired of constantly seeing people die unnecessarily, and his death was unnecessary. It's like he's tired of seeing that, and then now he's one of those people that is like, why did he have to die when he could have went and got help or talked to someone? So think things, look at the whole picture. Like I said, you're leaving people behind that's going to be hurt because of you're not being there. And please reach out to someone to get help, or just to talk to someone if that's what you need. But don't just carry that in you by yourself. Don't just bear that whole burden by yourself. Reach out to someone. And so that's all I wanted to say. Enjoy the rest of your day.